Clinton Town Charter. Chapter 8, Administrative Officers and Departments. Section 8-18, Director of Finance. The Director of Finance shall be hired by the Board of Selectmen upon the recommendation of the Board of Finance and shall be involved in the operation and administration of all finance-related functions for the town of Clinton.
I have another matter to bring up. I'm going to read a letter into the record regarding something that's transpired in the last week. This is regarding hiring practices. This is a letter that's going to go to the chairman of the Board of Finance. It has come to the town's attention that the member of the Board of Finance interfered in the hiring process of new staff. They contacted references, and they did not disclose those conversations with the first selectman or the Board of Finance. The town utilizes a central process for checking the backgrounds and references of applicants for positions. The reason for this approach is to ensure compliance with the policies of the town, to have a consistent approach to screening applicants, and to avoid potential legal claims if the applicant is not chosen for a position. If a member of a board or commission conducts a background or reference check outside the process, the member will likely be considered an agent of the town, and anything the member says or does can be considered an action of the town itself. Therefore, any such conduct is inappropriate and could subject the town to liability. These actions were not in the best interest of the town and may have led to the finance director's withdrawal after accepting the position. For this reason, the town will be referring this matter to the Board of Ethics for further action.
We're in receipt of a letter from the first selectman. You have that, right? Okay, it's been given to all. So it says to everybody got on the board? Okay, so we're in receipt of it. We'll make it part of the minutes as being received. Any other correspondence yet?
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
I'd like to address this letter.
Well, yeah, okay, let me get to a point where
You want to put that in new business?
well, we get correspondence, so we can take it,
Will be attached as a,
we can take it under,
be attached as a part of the minutes of the meeting?
yeah, the letter.
Attached.
Yeah. So the letter's attached, and then discussion, really we're in correspondence, so that's not the place. So we're going to business and comments next, so why don't we take it, I would do it, well, why don't we do it, like, change it, put it right before committee reports, does that make sense? Any objections, we'll have the discussion then, everybody agree? Unless you want it sooner, All right, so we'll do that.
You need the motion to add to the agenda?
Yeah, well, we'll have a motion to add, well, it's a discussion, I guess, add item 7B discussion of the letter we received from the first one. So move, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, aye. So the members' agenda to add a 7B. 7B, are we ready to move on? So what we're going to do is everybody, Mike, any other suggestions, we'll put an email, send it off to Dawn. That's why it's, it's imperative that we get people who are hired to do these kinds of jobs rather than us people that have maybe shorter memories and are busy doing other things. So 7B.
Except we do have a fiduciary responsibility.
I understand, but it's, again, it's at the end of the day is whatever line items, there's going to be nobody left. If there's nobody left in the line items, then that's it, right?
We'll use all the line items.
Contingency, but if there's nobody left,
No.
contingency, what do you do?
We're tapping that pretty good.
7B. So, first, you got it.
Well, a couple of things. First of all,
By the way, did we ever seat you?
no, but do I need to be seated at?
Well, otherwise I'm letting you speak as a public here.
Right, but
that's
there's
very
no,
liberal.
there's no motion on the floor.
No, but I have to seat you.
I know, but there's no motion.
You don't want to be
There's
seated?
no motion, he's not voting.
Okay, we don't.
He's
Continue.
What are you seeking for?
Continue.
You're good.
Oh, that's right. I got full form.
Yeah, full house, but,
I get confused.
on this letter, I mean, first of all, it doesn't tell us who the member is who's being accused, so it sort of means anyone or all of us are being,
And then line 2 begins they, so I assume it's more than one.
well, either they, or she doesn't want to put a pronoun that addresses, you know, gender. But the other thing is that I have brought the code of ethics for the town. And what
I really, you know, personally on this whole thing, it's a process that will take place. We're receiving a letter. Whether I believe it should be, I don't know what an ethics commission is going to come up with or not. I am not going to make any determinations by any, because I'm not a lawyer, and I don't make those determinations.
It does have to, he or she or they have had to benefit financially.
Okay, but it's not,
Our charter
but
says-
I'm not the ethics commission. And I'm not going to make any determinations one way or the other. What I will say is that I'm the chairman of the Board of Finance.
You want that?
And that I believe there's a process that was put forward, and that if these, I guess, allegations are true, that I believe it's overstepping its bounds as members of the Board of Finance to stick their nose into calling people because there's a confidentiality that I believe that we need to be adhering to. So, I mean, if we want to get into any more, you know, I'm concerned about personnel, or people, or who apply. You know, we want to kind of keep that in the context of confidentiality. But whether I believe this rises to a charge of ethics or not is immaterial. But I do believe that we have a process that we can recommend someone. Nowhere does it say that the Board of Selectmen has to give us all their information, data, and everything else. It's not in the charter. We can make a recommendation, and that's it. So I think personally, I think that doing this brings a bad light on the Board of Finance for having, rather than go to a Board of Selectmen, and to ask, by the way, we were here, we had a discussion, a debate, and a vote. And at that point, it should have been moot. I don't know why we're calling references at that point.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. And just, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's your opinion. Now, if somebody's going to bring charges, they're going to bring charges.
That's what it is.
And it goes to the ethics commission, they'll decide whether there's a case or not. And they'll go forward or not.
Right.
I would question whether this is more than just an ethics issue.
Well, I said what I think it is. It speaks to the integrity of the Board of Finance to have done what it's done. In that, you know, I don't know if you know, listen, as long, I don't really need to protect anybody around this table. I want to make sure we protect any employee or anybody who's applying for a job. If we have to do any of that discussion, I think we should go into executive session. But within here, we're all in the public domain. We're all elected, and we're all subject to scrutiny and discussion or whatever else is there.
Right.
So I'm wide open to having any kind of discussion and debate about that. But I think here's my concern. We can have this debate and discussion, but what do? If there's some charges or anything that needs to be brought up or filed against anybody or anything like that, they need to be taken to the appropriate body.
Yeah, we don't do it.
Right. The only thing we can do is kind of like what I said. I think it was wrong for anybody to do this. I think that I would understand the Board of Selectmen having very little faith in coming forward and giving us any confidential information in the future, because we should have held information that's confidential. And I think it was a responsibility we had, and that we didn't live up to. And I'm disappointed.
What kind of violation do you think there was?
I think someone to call a reference of someone that was given to the Board of Selectmen, not to us.
No, we got it.
It was given to us.
You were given that by the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah. So we could hire.
I don't know what.
No, you don't hire anybody.
No,
I'm sick of that.
All right, fine. But let's face it, and stay with the facts. You have no more right to hire anybody than a man in the mold.
Here's the fact.
Yeah,
Director
take
of
the
Finance
facts. You
shall
don't
be
vote.
hired by the Board of Selectmen upon the recommendation of the Board of Finance.
Good. So what's, or recommendation? What does that mean?
That means
It means we know the person and
I recommend you jump off the bridge.
Well, we all vote for that for you.
Because you know what? You can recommend or not recommend or do anything else you want. It has no standing. Recommendation.
Do we have
Will.
we have
You know, I'm sick of sitting here for an hour and a half with a bunch of bull.
leave them if you don't want to say
Yeah, I should leave, because I tell you what, you're obnoxious, you drag stuff out, you drag meetings out, that's why the CG goes like it does. Ah, please.
Talk about the Board of Ethics.
Excuse me, what do you think is?
Hey, did it cost you anything? Go to the Board of Ethics, make a file against me on the Board of Ethics.
John,
Go ahead.
What are you accusing me of?
I'm tired of listening to bull, I said, go bring it somewhere else.
I'd like to go back to this. If we've had, there was a situation that I recall that had nothing to do with the Board of Finance, but it did have something to do with somebody else that was applying for a job. And somebody that was unauthorized made a phone call on the basis of somebody's references. I mean, that kind of thing, first of all, you're posing as somebody that you are not. And if the people that are reviewing and going through the process of hiring people, are not the ones that are doing it, I mean, that is absolutely unethical, and it's
You have no idea
incorrect.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, nobody does.
Will we?
What do you mean nobody does? It's a legal issue.
Well,
I mean, it's a confidentiality.
May I explain
When
something to
somebody,
may I explain something to you?
what's that?
We, before that special meeting, got a resume application for the job of finance.
Right, as we always
And
do.
continue, please. And
From who?
it was sent by Mary Scatino.
From how did she get this to you?
She sent it to all of us, and if you would read your email, you'd see, we have that application.
You know what, maybe I got Alzheimer, I don't remember, how about that? Okay. Sick of listening to you. You know what, let it go in a minute. Let it go in the paper, because you know what? Sick of listening. Here, you take the fuck. I'm sick of listening. I got enough, I ain't gonna sit here and waste my time, listen to nothing but filibuster, get in the way, get nothing done.
Get away from her.
Go share your meeting, I'm done.
You know,
And there was,
I'm done.
on this application, there was red flags. One was, he said,
there may well have been. I
well,
don't know.
right at the top, it said he was employed in the town.
Darrell, you need to go into executive session. You cannot discuss this in the public forum.
Very good point.
if he's gonna,
Vice chair is now chair.
Are you leaving?
No, keep together.
Okay. Do we have to make a motion to go into executive?
Yes.
No.
Yes, you have to make a
But I
motion.
think I think we're finished discussing it.
It's on the agenda, the last item. Executive session, we're supposed to want to just continue with the
It is
meeting.
Mine is, okay, so we'll do this thing then. Good suggestion.
All right.
Chair, Mr. Chairman, I move to seat Kirk Carter.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
I'm not going with you, I'm saying. I mean, you know what, see it for what? You got a quorum. Go do what you
There's
want.
a motion.
Jump in a lake.
So is there a discussion?
No discussion.
Would you repeat the motion?
Rhoda made a motion to seat Kirk.
No, that's
So,
it.
made it, hold a
I
second.
seconded it. When we voted on it.
So is all.
We have, listen, we have a quorum, we do not need to seat anybody. But since there's a vacancy, I'm making a motion.
Alright, so we don't have to seat him. If there's a vote to seat Kirk?
I will, yes.
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 Yeah.
And we're calling the others.
Thank you very much.
Alright, well,
we're going to continue with the meeting and then we'll go into executive session at the end.
So, can I just clarify, is it all in favor? You didn't vote correct?
Well, I can't from the chair, right?
You can vote to break a tie or if
But
you
there's
choose
no
to.
tie, right?
It's
So,
four in favor.
Right.
so we're just going to do the committee liaison reports. Is there any other new business?
I'll make a motion to
So we would adjourn and then go into executive.
Adjourn, go into executive session.
We don't adjourn?
We don't adjourn this meeting?
No,
So we're,
I don't make a motion.
we don't need to make a motion, I can just say.
Of course you did.
Yeah,
We need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
Okay, does anybody second?
You have to invite, sorry.
Needed by Mary and Christine, you're ex officio.
Informally invite me into executive session.
We need a motion for that, or we just?
Unless we include it in the motion. Can I make a motion?
All right. Christine
Yeah,
and
good
Mary.
idea.
I would like to invite
Christina and Mary. Bye, Carol.